Why would children be scared of carjackers being arrested? Why would children be scared of gang members being arrested? Why would children be scared of murderers being arrested? If anything, the National Guard made it so that it is safe to go out of your house. How is that scary to law-abiding citizens? Unless Mr. Danziger is implying that all children are criminals. Well, when you have entire programs demeaning people based on heritable traits, and make it official policy to hire based on heritable traits, it seems like you are discriminating based on heritable traits. Recall that discriminating based on heritable traits is discrimination. This is illegal, but liberals only have a problem when it is done to certain people. That is very hypocritical. This is technically true, but this cartoon is what is known as selective disinformation. Thus, it is not the whole truth. What is not included is Hitler's desire to expand government and embrace socialism, both of which President Trump has opposed repeatedly. Without big government and socialism, it is not the National Socialist German Workers' Party. That is a fact. The blue states that have Republicans gerrymander them out of existence, or have nothing fairly divided. Examples are quite numerous and have been covered extensively. The Texas Democrats even fled to one of the most gerrymandered states in the Union. The lie that Mr. Shineman wants you to believe is simple. He wants you to believe that only Democrats are ethically redistricting, even when they are doing so to get rid of all Republican votes. Do socialists ever think to ask why these costs are going up? Of course not. The reason that they are going up is in large part due to government control. Housing costs are going up because the government controls how many houses can be built. Education costs are going up because the whole industry is bailed out by taxpayers. And insurance is going up because it is not being treated as a way to deal with emergencies, but everyday things. More government control will only raise the costs. Instead, we need to ensure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our posterity. Sure, it looks awkward, but I would prefer more law enforcement to gangs, carjackers, and murderers. Washington, D.C. is one of the most lawless cities in the country. To the surprise of no one at all, there's Democrat leadership. These people said the same thing before Donald Trump became president the first time, and before he became president the second time. From an initial search, there have been 337 other nominations thus far for 2025. As such, his odds are roughly 0.29%. These are not impossible odds. But if the deporter-in-chief who used drone strikes to exercise his will without congressional oversight won the prize, someone who has negotiated peace deals to stop wars has a pretty good chance. It is nice that the Democrats are not only focusing on imaginary Russia collusion, but are also making unrelated historical comparisons as well. Trying to find a peaceful solution for the Middle East, and moving the United States Embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, are all things that the head of the National Socialist German Workers' Party would do. The historical revisionism of the Democrats is just silly. Mr. Bennett is in some ways making a case for President Trump. The old guard is taking out these endless wars because, unlike the previous administrations, President Trump wants to end them. In Insert Foreign Country, America has no business as a so-called peacekeeping force. However, President Trump does have authority in America. And unlike the massive civilian deaths and human rights abuses as well as the immeasurable cost in Insert Foreign Country, only criminals are targeted here. Name me one time that President Trump has capitulated to Putin. And do not bring up that imaginary Russia collusion hoax that was created by the Clinton campaign and propagated under the Obama administration. If anything, President Trump made it harder for Putin. President Trump could have just stepped to the side, but he got involved. And thus far, he has a very good track record of negotiating peace. All of those parachutes look suspiciously European. I do not know why the Europeans need America to get involved in their problems. You do not see Americans going to Germany, Britain, France, Italy, or the European Union to deal with the Mexican drug cartels. That is because it is sadly our problem to deal with. And if all of these other countries are there, Ukraine no longer needs America, and we can leave Ukraine to Europe. Everyone wins!